Spring is the season that wakes me alive, and fall is the season to contemplate life. Oh, yeah. I don't know what is it exactly in this time of year that makes the melancholy me reappear. Oh, yeah. Back and forth through dark roast coffee, salt, mist, and sea, sand and amber.
Today I am going to be making some new potting mix, and I thought I could record it and do it with you, since I do get quite a few questions about my potting mix here and there. So I got my tree fern fiber, which I briefly mentioned in a previous video that I was waiting for so I can add it into my potting mix. This is something new that I'm trying out, so I'm not sure exactly how well it's going to work yet, so I'm just going to make a small batch with the tree fern fiber and try it out. I know people also like to use tree fern fiber alone for propagating and whatnot, but I'm not going to use it for that purpose since I've had pretty good luck with rooting in water and stratum, so I'm just going to keep it like that, but I am going to add the tree fern fiber to my potting mix. So I brought out all of my additives. So I have over here, this is cocoa coir croutons. They're basically like little chunks, so I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. So this is pretty much what it looks like. So chunks of cocoa coir. You could actually break it down into smaller pieces, which is what I might do depending if I have time or not, but there are some smaller pieces in here. So we've got chunks here. Okay, so we'll be using some of that. And then I have some perlite here. You can see, I think you all know what perlite looks like. So we got some perlite. I normally use either pumice or perlite. I prefer to use pumice just because it has a little bit more weight to it, so it doesn't float up to the top when you water your plants. At least not as much as perlite does. But I use what I have on hand. I used up all my pumice, so I'm going to use my perlite instead. So that's that. Okay. Then over here I have my bark. This is fir bark. You can use orchid bark or something similar, or you can just use the cocoa coir. I usually just use one or the other. Sometimes I will mix both of them, so I just use this. I like this fir bark because it's smaller chunks, because most orchid bark I find is in like bigger chunks, bigger sizes, and also it is much cheaper than buying orchid bark. Okay. Sometimes if I remember, I will add some of this fertilizer or plant food from Osmocult. It is a slow release plant food, and I would just sprinkle some into the potting mix. This is what it looks like. It's just little granules. And I'll sprinkle some of this into the mix if I remember to. A lot of times I don't, so I'll just fertilize, you know, when I water. Okay. And then these are the additives that I use in my potting mix. As for the base, I usually use black gold. I mean, I use anything I can get my hands on. I really don't have a preference, to be very honest. Like today, for example, I'm actually going to be using Miracle Grow. So today I'm going to be using Miracle Grow because this is what I have on hand right now, and I don't feel like going out and buying a new one since I still have this, and they work fine, really. This is the Miracle Grow Cactus, Palm, and Citrus potting mix. So, okay, put that to the side. I am going to be mixing it into this container here. and I will be adding the tree fern fiber. This is all just gonna be experimental because I've never used tree fern fiber before. I actually heard of tree fern fiber from a New Zealand YouTuber, a plant YouTuber. She also owns a small business. Her name on YouTube is Growing Green, and I believe her small business is also called Growing Green. She's based in New Zealand. I love her videos. She is an amazing personality. So I heard about tree fern fiber from her actually, and she uses it for all her plants. So I am convinced to try it out as well. It might work out for me, it might not, but it's worth a try. Because this is a cactus mix that I'm using from Miracle Grow, it has a lot of sand, and I actually see it has fertilizer in it already, so I'm not going to be adding any additives in terms of plant food. Okay, so just gonna be, actually it might be quicker if I just pour it. Let me just do that. Okay, I think that's good. I don't know if you can see how gritty this is. Let me see if I could show you. It's really gritty because it has sand in it, which is great for cacti and succulents. Okay, this actually looks really good, surprisingly. All right. So I am definitely adding more perlite into here. And in terms of what I'm going to be using this potting mix for, it's going to be for everything. My Hoyas, my aroids, peperomias, everything. I really don't have the time to separate my different types of mixes, and you probably should if you could, but I just don't have the time to do that, so I use the same thing for everything. Now I'm gonna add the tree fern fiber. I think I might skip the cocoa part for this. So let's see. So this is what the tree fern fiber looks like. It's very light and airy. See how that looks. I actually wouldn't mind making a batch of just tree fern fiber and then adding the additives, like using tree fern fiber as a base. Let's see how that goes. I actually wouldn't mind that. So let's just see how this looks. I usually like to just squeeze in. If it is crumbly like this, it means it's pretty good. Well draining enough. Okay, so I think I have the tree fern fiber pretty well mixed in here. I think I'm going to add a little bit more. I think this is pretty well mixed. I think it looks really good. Okay. So I have to step out for a little bit. And you just have to go out to get something, and then I'll be back. And then we will, if there's still daylight, we'll repot some, we'll pot up some plants, because I've been saving some plants to be potted into the tree fern fiber. It's actually been a couple days now since I did the houseplant potting mix. I had to run out with my family and didn't get a chance to finish that. I said I was going to repot something into the potting mix, and this was actually the plant that I had in mind. This is my variegated Philodendron giganteum, and this was one of the imports that was sent to me back in May, I think, and it was one of the ones that were doing the worst. It had rotted roots, and then I had to put in water to propagate, and I don't think it was propagating, so I put it in what did I put it in? Stratum maybe? I don't recall anymore. So in water, I just kind of left it and kind of forgot about it. Life got busy, so now I'm finally taking care of it. It actually grew this little leaf while it was in water. And this is the root system. I wouldn't say it's very robust or anything. I do see some rot and stuff, but we're gonna pot it up into that new potting mix we made. So it has enough roots, I think. But either way, I feel like it's time to pot it up. So I have to kind of decide what pot I want to use. Should I use this one? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I think I was trying to grow a new leaf, so I'll do this. I think that looks pretty good. We can try one more, which is just a regular, that is good. Okay. So we'll use this. I will put a drainage screen on the bottom. So these are just window mesh screens. So we're gonna try out the new potting mix that we made. I'm just gonna put a little bit. Situate this guy. I think this is pretty good. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't want to put it in too big of a pot, even though it looks like the leaves are really big, but the root system is very small. So I always try to pot the plant based on its root ball size. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I am gonna go ahead and top dress this. What have we top dressing out here? I have a little bit of the bonsai blocks left. Let's see if it's enough. Alright, so we are done. So hopefully this plant will be a little bit happier after it's potted up. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it. And that will be it for this video, I think. Unless later in the afternoon I have a little free time, I might come back into the greenhouse and pot up a few more things in the new potting mix. But for now, that will be it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!